Hey, just thinking, your team's attitude to money. Do you have any idea what it is? Have you asked them? Have you talked to them about it? All the work you're doing on mindset, abundance mindset in particular, all the work you're doing around money mindset, charging your worth, isn't going to amount to enough if your team's attitude to money isn't right alongside yours. How does this manifest? So your team might be uncomfortable charging their worth. Your team might be uncomfortable with your fee structure. Your team might be feeling like it's okay to do this extra bit of work for someone and not bill for it. It's great that you've got a generous team. It's great that their spirit is for the people. It's not going to help you in business though, is it? So it's manifested in my practice. I have very often had conversations with team members. In fact, I had a wonderful conversation this morning with a team member about this topic. So in the past, I've had clinicians in my team who, once we sat down and talked about it, were able to tell me that they actually weren't comfortable charging for the services they provide. Not a great thing for my business. Now, they were charging. It wasn't up to them. It was up to my admin team to do the billing. But, it was interesting to me to hear that some people might not be comfortable with our billing practices. Now, that was nothing to do with what we were doing, but everything to do with their feelings about the work they do and who should pay for it and how much they should pay. So those conversations were really great because what they identified was that for those particular team members, in the longer term, they were going to be a lot happier working in maybe a government sector or a non-government sector, and not like a not-for-profit sector. So sometimes those conversations highlight what your team members' longer term goals are going to be. And that's a good thing. So it's really important not to be afraid to have these money conversations with members of your team. Understand how they feel about billing. Understand how they approach time is money. Understand what they understand of how your business is funded. It's news to some people that there's not a magic pot of money hidden somewhere to pay their salaries. It's news that perhaps if they don't provide a service that's billable, then perhaps there's not a position for them. So it's really important that they understand, that you position them well to understand how it works. Now, it doesn't have to be an ugly conversation. Better if it's not. It's great if it's a thoughtful conversation. I'm wondering, how have you felt about being, your clients being charged for being seen in my practice? How do you feel about clients having to pay for the service that we provide? What would your ideal scenario be? That's a really interesting question and can open up lots of conversation. And it's certainly how I identified with team members in the past that their ideal scenario was actually people being seen for free. So we were then able to explore what some of their longer term goals might be, and I was able to help facilitate those goals to come to fruition for them, which is a great thing. And this morning, having conversations with members of my team for who this has been a new understanding of how the business works and how it's funded, has meant that they've been able to go away, have a bit of a think about what that looks like in real terms, and they've come back to me identifying some gaps in our billing processes, which is a great thing that they're thinking in those terms. So have a conversation with members of your team about their money mindset. It's great that you're taking steps to charge what you're worth. Make sure your team members are on board. And if they're struggling, do what you can to guide them while they're on your bus. And maybe some point down the track, they might decide whether or not they need to hop off the bus. And that's okay too. Have a great day. Bye for now.